Previously, the media repeatedly published videos and photos of the expanding cemeteries in Russia, where occupiers who died in the war against Ukraine are buried, and now further evidence has emerged of enormous losses suffered by the aggressor country. In the city of Birsk in Bashkortostan, with a population of 44,000, a monument honoring the names of residents who died in the wars in Afghanistan and Chechnya have now been added to the existing ones, a monument honoring those killed in Ukraine. So, if 3 residents of the aforementioned city died in the war in Afghanistan, 4 in the 2 wars in Chechnya, and 188 in the war against Ukraine. Thus, in 3.5 years of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine, Birsk's losses are 60 times greater than those in the 10 years of the war in Afghanistan. What is happening is being met with massive protests in Birsk. The population is protesting the policies of the Russian leadership. The increasing attacks by Ukrainian drones on Bashkortostan are also increasing dissatisfaction with the Russian leadership among the population. Recall, Ukrainian drone strikes ignited a fire at a major Gazprom oil and petrochemical facility in the Republic of Bashkortostan, regional officials said. 2 drones attacked the Gazprom Neftekhim Salvat enterprise. Bashkortostan regional head Radi Kadirov wrote on Telegram describing the incidents as a terrorist attack. He said security guards at the facility opened fire on the drones. Emergency crews were working to contain the blaze, Kadirov said, adding that no one was injured in the attack. The extent of the damage remained unclear. Gazprom Neftekhim Salvat, Russia's 10th largest refinery, with a capacity of 10 million metric tons of oil annually, produces more than 150 petroleum and chemical products. Ukrainian drones first targeted the plant in May 2024. The strike came as Gazprom Neft announced that it had postponed scheduled maintenance at its Omsk oil refinery due to government measures aimed at stabilizing domestic fuel supplies. Ukraine has stepped up attacks on Russian energy infrastructure in recent months, hitting at least 10 refineries since early August and forcing Russia to slash refining capacity by nearly 20% at one point, according to Reuters. Russia's pipeline monopoly Transneft reportedly warned producers this week that output could be curbed further if drone attacks continue to damage key facilities. Wholesale oil prices in Russia have surged amid the drone attacks.
Moldovan President Maia Sandu said Russia has not achieved its objectives, despite spending a lot of money in the country's election that saw the pro-Western governing party defeat pro-Russian groups. According to Associated Press, Moldovans gave the country's governing party a clear parliamentary majority in a vote widely viewed as a stark choice between East and West. Russia has not achieved its objectives, said Sandu. It has spent a lot of money in these elections, but the results show that they failed. We believe in freedom and democracy, and that's the choice of the Moldovan people. Landlocked between war-torn Ukraine and EU and NATO member Romania, Moldova was a Soviet republic until it proclaimed independence in 1991. In recent years it has taken a clear westward path, turning the country into a geopolitical battleground between Russia and Europe. The outcome of Sunday's high-stakes ballot was noteworthy considering Moldovan authorities' repeated claims that Russia was conducting a vast, hybrid war to try to sway the outcome and seize power in Chisinau. With nearly all polling station reports counted on Monday, electoral data showed Sandu's pro-EU Party of Action and Solidarity, or PAS, securing 50.1% of the vote, while the pro-Russian Patriotic Electoral Bloc won 24.2%. The Russia-friendly Alternativa bloc came third, followed by the populist R Party. The right-wing Democracy at Home party also won enough votes to enter parliament. The tense ballot Sunday pitted the governing PAS against several Russia-friendly opponents but no viable pro-European partners. Electoral data indicate the party will hold a clear majority of about 55 of the 101 seats in the legislature. Moldova applied to join the EU in 2022 in the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and was granted candidate status that year. Brussels agreed to open accession negotiations last year.
Yes, I do believe that Russia has not achieved its objectives. It has spent a lot of money in these elections, but the results show that they failed. And it failed because of the joint effort of the state institutions, of the media, of the press, of the civil society. So it was really a response by the entire society to these attempts by Russia to interfere. And you have seen investigations by the national, by the local press, you have seen investigations by the international press. We have proof of the money that Russia spent or wanted to spend. And of course we have proof of attempts to bribe the voters in different regions of the country. Well, of course, it's the democracy is clean, should be clean, and the elections that we fought for clean elections. How would you see the situation when, over the last 20 years, the genuine vote from the Transnistrian region is 15 to 20,000, and then suddenly, and you hear from the regime in Tiraspol that people from the Transnistrian region should not participate in the elections on the right bank of Dnistr because they don't recognize Transnistria being part of Moldova. And then suddenly they are all concerned about, hundreds of thousands of people that need to vote. How would you see the situation when none of the political parties or the political parties which are not supported by Russia are not allowed to go to the Transnistrian region and to campaign? How would you ensure a proper democratic process? It is very clear to us that, and we have done our best to provide the conditions for the people from the Transnistrian region who have been genuinely participating in the election process for the last, as I said, 15 to 20 years, to come and vote, and they have been able to do that. But when Russia organizes a massive vote-buying scheme, it's easier for Russia to do it on the left bank of Dnistr because the Moldovan police is not allowed to go there. The Moldova Anti-Corruption Center is not allowed to go there. So how do you make sure that this is the decision of the Moldovans and not the decision paid by Russia? It's not an easy question, but let's look at the figures we had in the past and let's look at the genuine vote.